Okay, we're going to do some more order of operations, but now with bigger problems. I know, that was really fun for you, but at least one of us will have fun. If it's not you, it surely will be me. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to just show you something that will make order of operations a lot easier. A lot of people want to just bring this sign down. I'm going to tell you not to. Here's what we're going to do. And if it helps you, you may want to use a different color to write the signs in there, because people usually lose signs. So here's what I'm going to do. But it's -4 minus 2 times -3. So we have subtraction and we have multiplication. Order of operations, remember, is parentheses. If there's an operation inside, which we don't have, exponents, which we don't have, multiplication or division from left to right, addition or subtraction from left to right. We do have multiplications. We have to do that first. Watch what I'm going to do. This is really important, so listen to this. I'm going to bring down the -4, but now when I multiply, I'm going to take the sign with the number. So I'm multiplying -2 times -3. I'm not distributing. I just wanted to show you that. Remember, distributing is something else. Okay, -2 times -3. A negative times a negative is a +6. So take the sign with the number. Once you do that, you will not have that sign issue, because we don't want sign. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do what we have here. So I owe you $4. I have $6. So I have $2. So by taking the sign with the number, it eliminates that sign stuff. Okay. So let's try number 2. Okay. We have this big set of parentheses and this smallest set of parentheses. These are actually called brackets. Okay, we're going to do innermost first because there's an operation inside. So I'm going to write everything down until we get there. We're not going to take these parentheses off because we're not doing a multiplication step. So I have 2. I owe you 7. So I owe you 5. Okay. Now notice we have this bracket, but inside we have a parentheses. But that's not a true parentheses. That's just because we have a sign here. Okay, so let's take care of that sign because, you know, it's giving me a rash. I hate that sign. Okay. So those 2 signs become 1 sign. Here's what I got. Now remember, that bracket is the same as a parentheses, so I'm going to do what's inside there. I'm not going to take it off because I didn't do a multiplication step. I know this looks funky, but trust me, later it's important to know when to take the brackets off and when not to. 8 plus 5 is 13. Okay, now I know it looks like this is multiplication, but they're not attached without a symbol. There's a symbol right there, an operation symbol, so they are not attached by multiplication, so I'm not multiplying. I have 10, I owe you 13. If I have 10 and owe you 13, I owe you 3. So that's the final answer. So let's look at number 3. 3 times the absolute value of 10 minus 12 minus 140. Well, big time, big number. Okay, here we go. First rule is parentheses. That is really technically, it's not a parentheses, but it is a grouping symbol, and that's what parentheses means. So I have to do that first. Okay? Remember, we said about absolute value, it's probably hard to write with that side of the pen. I'll try the other side. Okay. Remember we said about absolute value, never take the absolute value off until there's one number inside. So I have 10, but I owe you 12, so I owe you 2. Okay. Notice these 2 are attached by multiplication, but I can't multiply until I get rid of that absolute value. But I'm going to go across for a second and keep writing everything down so I don't lose sight of what I'm doing. Okay. Now it says parentheses, don't have them. Exponents, don't have them. Multiplication or division, have both of them. This is multiplication. This is division, and it says from left to right, so I'm doing that first. But in order to do this multiplication, I have to actually finish this absolute value. Now, I'm going to change that absolute value to a parentheses because once there's one number inside, I can take it off, but I have to make sure you understand this is still attached by multiplication. And it is because there's no sign between them. So the absolute value of -2 is 2. I still didn't do the multiplication yet, so I'll do it now. Now I'm going to divide. Now you might need to write this on the side, but this is 6. This is a negative divided by a positive. Remember, take the sum with the number. A negative divided by a positive, which is a negative. And now let's do 140 divided by 7. Okay. Can't do this in your head, that's okay. I'm going to do a little short division. 7 into 14 goes twice. Okay, bring the 0 up, so that's 20. So it's 6 minus 20, which is I have 6, I owe you 20, so I owe you 14. Okay, that one had a bigger number in there, and that was a little hard to understand maybe about this absolute value. But make sure you don't take the absolute value off until there's one number inside. Okay, let's try number 4. Oh, number 4 looks fun. Let's do 4. Okay. I'm getting like I may be the only one who thinks this is fun, but that's okay. All right, -8 minus 4. All right, let's look at this. Remember the whole rule about exponents. That's squared. That's a square, but it only affects what's to its immediate left, so it's going to affect that -8, that whole parentheses. So here's the top, and we got -8 quantity squared minus 4 squared. -8 quantity squared is 64. Now, the only thing being squared here is the 4. So the negative is not part of what's being squared, because if that 2 falls, it only falls on the 4. So 4 squared is 16. And 64 minus 16. What is 64 minus 16? Oh, let's do it. Drew a little blank there. I hate that. 48. 48. Okay, so that's 48. Right. All right, let me write the top in. And now let me do the bottom. Okay. I'm going to erase this and this. I'm going to give you some room for the bottom. And that's -8 minus a -4. Sign. Don't forget not to have the sign. So the signs are the same, so it's a plus. -8 plus 4. I owe you 8. I have 4. So I owe you 4. That's the bottom. Now we have division. 4 actually does go into 48. Okay, let's take care of the sign first. Since the signs are different, the answer is going to be negative. 48 divided by 4 is 12. So the answer is -12. Okay. Let's do a couple more a little differently. Okay, some of these are a little different. So I'm going to ask you to try just the first 3, and then we'll do the 4th one together. Okay. Number 1. We're going to evaluate these. Number 1. 8 minus 2 times 7 minus 4. Okay. Let's think order of operations. Parentheses? Nope. Exponents? Nope. Multiplication? Yes. So here's some multiplication. We're going to go here. So this is 8. Negative times a positive is a negative. 14 minus 4. Now we just go left to right, because addition, subtraction from left to right. I have 8. I owe you 14. So I owe you 6. Minus this 4. I owe you 6. I owe you 4. So I owe you 10. All right? Hope that went okay. Let's try 2. Let's see if your answer matches mine. Of course, if it doesn't, you know you have to be wrong. Now, I might be wrong. But let's see. All right. -2 cubed minus 9 times -3. So let's look for parentheses. Remember, that's not a parentheses because there's no operation. Exponents, we definitely have an exponent. The only thing being cubed is the 2. If you're not sure what 2 cubed is, you can do it off to the side. But 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So this negative just comes down. Now remember here, we're going to multiply. So I'm going to take the sign with the number. -9 times -3 is positive 27. Now I'm just going to combine these. And remember, combining could be adding or subtracting, but we're going to think money. I owe you 8, but I have 27. That's good. I only owe you $8. I have 27 bucks. So that means it's going to be positive 19. Okay. That's number 2. We have one more, 3, and then we have one that's a little different. All right, let's try number 3. Number 3 says -5 times -2 minus 7 times 3, all divided by -7 minus 4. Now, again, I'm going to try to do top and bottom and not forget to do the bottom. I do that a lot. Okay, let's do the top. On the top. Okay. No sign. This is not sign. This is multiplication. It's sign number. Okay, not sign. I know, that's weird, really weird. But anyway, this is multiplication. Signs are the same, so it's going to be positive. 5 times 2 is 10. Then we have Oh, well, let me just write everything down. Now, be really careful here because a lot of people like to do 10 minus 7. You're not doing 10 minus 7 here because order of operations says parentheses, we have none. Exponents, we have none. Multiplication or division, we have that. So there's some multiplication. We got to do that first. And talk to yourself. The more you talk to yourself, the better it is. Trust me. Trust me. Just say, self, this multiplication? What's the next step? I talk to myself all the time. Okay, so now we have multiplication. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. Now, we're going to combine them. Remember, combine means add or subtract, whatever you have to do. I have 10. I owe you 21, so I owe you 11. That's the top. The bottom, almost forgot. Did you catch me? Because I almost forgot the bottom. Okay, bottom. Oh, almost made that a fraction. Okay, minus 7 minus 4. Or negative 7 minus 4, negative 7, negative 4. It doesn't matter how you say this. This is just I owe you 7, I owe you 4, so I owe you 11. That's the bottom. Oh, I think I forgot the negative in the top, didn't I? I did. See, there's your negative 11. I had to put negative 11, that's the top. Negative 11 is the bottom. This is one of the properties we saw earlier, that when you divide something by itself, you get 1. Negative 11 divided by negative 11 is a positive 1 because the signs are the same. So that takes care of number 3. Let's look at 4. Okay, it's an expression, 2x minus y squared. And now x is negative 6 and y is negative 3. So we're going to do that thing with the substituting. We're going to make our parentheses for the x, whatever we're substituting, and the y. The exponent goes on the outside. Absolutely imperative, outside. Okay, I need to do that louder. Okay, this is negative 6. This is negative 3. So now here we have multiplication. Okay, here we have exponents. So let's run through the order of operations. Parentheses, we don't have any. Okay, remember there's no operation inside either one of these parentheses, so no parentheses. Exponents, we definitely have that. So let's do that. Now, I have to bring this down because what's being raised to the second power is this negative 3, because if this falls, it falls on a negative 3. So that is negative 3 squared, which is negative 3 times negative 3, which is a positive 9. Don't need to write the positive. In fact, I won't write the positive because then you got that sine thing going on. Okay. And I can take this out of the parentheses because I've done my multiplication. Now I have multiplication, negative 12 minus 9. Now I owe you 12, I owe you 9, so I owe you 21. Okay? Let's do one more, a little bigger. We're going to evaluate this. Negative 4 plus 9, and then plus 9. The bigger they get, the better I like it, but sooner or later I run out of board. Okay, here we go. I like running out of board. Let's take a look at this. We have brackets and this inside parentheses. We're going to do that first. So we're going to write everything until we get there. Okay. Then we're going to still keep this. So I'm going to do what's right in here. This is I owe you 4. And I have 9. If I owe you 4 and I have 9, I owe you $4, I have $9, so I have $5. Now I'm going to look inside here. There's no parentheses. That parentheses is multiplication. So I don't have parentheses, I don't have exponents, but I have multiplication. So I'm going to do the multiplication. Oh, I jumped the gun because I just wrote that over. I should have done that. I'm going to show you it's the same thing here, but I shouldn't have done that. I'm multiplying a positive times a positive, which is a positive. Make sure you become sign conscious. 2 times 5 is 10. Sign conscious is better than unconscious because that would be bad. Okay, plus 9. Now we're going to do these brackets because that's the first step, parentheses. 5 plus 10 is 15. Now we don't have parentheses, we don't have exponents, but we do have multiplication, which is 3 times 15 or 45 plus 9. And 45 plus 9 is 54. And that's how you do order of operations. Next thing we're going to do is expressions and equations. And we already did a little bit about this, but we're going to relive it again. I know you're thrilled about that. All right.